Simply curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known. Would have kept me from the one I had today.
Hello. This is 1100 WSGI, and I'm sitting here talking to Tiffany Thomson, and I'm sitting here just talking about all the things. And you know what? I turned on all the radio station stuff, and then I forgot to turn on my own Facebook page. So you can say hello to everybody while I'm turning all this on, because we get to talking. All my friends come in here to do the radio show, and it's like they come in and we sit down and start talking, and I'm like, oh, it's time to turn everything on. So we need to, say hello.
Hello.
So anyway, how are you doing? You having a good summer?
It's been kind of a crazy summer. In fact, I feel like I'm trying to cram everything in the last couple weeks to kind of make up for everything else that's been going on this summer. So
I get it. And I don't have kids at home. So, I mean, it's not that way for us, it's just me and Mark. But I'll tell you, I haven't heard anybody that has said, I can't believe summer's over. You know what I mean? Everybody, and summer's not, because I remind people, September can be one of the hottest months ever here. Yeah. And it's not typically, but we will have, warm weather, certainly. Sometimes Halloween is even warm,
Absolutely.
But, we've had many times we've gone out trick-or-treating with the kiddos, and it's been kind of, but then sometimes it's freezing cold, so you just never know. You never know. But, no, September can be super hot, but, we've still got a lot of summer left in us, but the kids are heading back to school. We've got kiddos back in classes a week from today. Will be a half day. Teachers, we're back on Monday. Now, of course, the transportation guys, they're having their professional development right now, because my hubby and your hubby does double duty. He works in the mechanics, right?
He is now, what did he tell me his job title is? Something inventory clerk. That's what he does. Yeah.
Okay. So, but it's in the maintenance of the buses and all that. But he also, they have all of them, as many as they can do in double duty, driving a bus.
It's almost required, I think.
It's almost required now, because we're so shorthanded with buses. And my husband, because he was the safety coordinator before he became the criminal justice teacher, one of the criminal justice teachers over at Springfield, went back to help him drive a bus. And he drives a couple of routes too. So the bus drivers are getting all acclimated today and then tomorrow. And then we've got open house in Springfield Wednesday night for the freshmen. And then the upperclassmen go on Thursday night. My open house for Greenbrier is Thursday night. So we're just like boom, 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 boom. We're back at it.
Abby, my youngest, she will be in 6th grade, and she started Innovations Academy. And so they have their STEAM camp going on this week. And so she did that yesterday and today. So I have to, after I leave here, I got to go run and grab her and take her to Innovations. And so they're definitely back at it too. So,
and I love it over there. We got to see. Did you see Making Hands? Did you go see the play?
I was not able to, but every night I was going to try to get it there, and
so
I heard
they
great things.
Recorded it.
Oh,
they
good.
recorded it for the schools because it's the history of our county. I can't say enough about it, and it was excellent. And I got to go on opening night because I knew I needed to go as soon as it came out, because otherwise I might not get.
You were smart. That's what I need to do next time, because I was like, I can go tomorrow. I can go tomorrow.
Yeah, it just I knew time would get away from me. Well, for one thing, we're in birthday month mode, because one of my grandsons, he turned 5. No, what am I saying? He's not 5. He's 4. Oh, they just go. I can't keep them all. I can't keep track of all of them. He's turned 4 on the 5th of July. And then I've got one that turned double digits today. Oh, so crazy. My oldest grandson, Rowan, double digit birthday. Happy birthday, young man. I'm so proud. We're so proud of our grandkids. Oh my gosh. I start talking about my kids and my grandkids, and I'll bore you very fast. Gushing over them. They're we're just so blessed. We're so very blessed. But happy birthday, Rowan. we're gonna go and do something with them tonight. I don't know. We've been celebrating all month. You know,
Nice.
all weekend we had this glowing birthday party where they turn off the lights and it's black lights.
Oh,
It's
fun.
Friday night. And then Saturday was both he and Miller's official family birthday, you know, at his Mimi's pool. And then we had them out Sunday. We went to the new Capitol Theater and saw Moana, which is excellent. It's so good. And then we played in the creek and we ate Blue Roof for lunch, you know, or dinner, I guess would be dinner. But anyway, we had just a full day of festivities.
That sounds amazing.
We took some inner tubes and put on the creek right in front of the house. And there's a couple of places where it runs pretty fast, like a little, you know, where it drops a little bit. And I mean, not really, but it's like a little lazy river ride. And so the kids were just wearing it out. It was so fun. So fun. So that was our weekend. And, you know,
And they're going to talk about those summers someday. Oh, remember summers at Grandma's house?
Oh, I hope.
What's your grandma name?
Mama.
Mama.
Mama, we're Mama and Papa. So
Okay.
my only grandparents I knew growing up were Mama and Papa. So they asked me this, what do you want your grandparent name to be? And I'm like, oh, I hadn't thought about it, you know? And so I was like, oh, Mama was pretty cool. My grandmother was exceptional. She was exceptional. Her name was Sunshine.
Legit? That was her like Christian name? I love it. I love it.
So, and she, at her service, her memorial, the preacher said no one has ever filled out a name and that suited her more than Sunshine. And she was beautiful. I mean, she was amazing. She was amazing. So I thought, yeah, I'll be Mama. And then he got stuck with Pawpaw because it just went with Mama.
It goes together.
Yeah, it goes together. So anyway, so Senior Center and all the nonprofits. How many nonprofits are you working with right now? This is Tiffany. Oh, by the way, I was a little late turning on my Facebook page. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm Utah LaVern. This is One Street Over, and this is Tiffany Thomson.
We're only 10 minutes in. We're good. We're good.
Well, I said all the things as we had the other stuff. I got on and got to talking to Tiffany and forgot to turn on my Facebook page. So
there we go.
Anyway,
There we
so
go.
there you go. But so
All the
how many
nonprofits.
are
Let's
you working
see.
with,
So I'm on the board for the library. I'm on the board for Generations Next. I am the executive director at the Robertson County Senior Center, and then I'm a big supporter of lots of other things. I've been to several my father's house board meetings lately.
Well, you've worked for a lot of other things.
I
CASA and United Way and Safe Baby Court. And I mean, so many of the things that really recreate, I mean, change our community from the inside out, you've been a part of.
try
And
to.
I appreciate you.
I try to just,
Very much.
and when you do that, you rub shoulders with some of the most amazing
Oh
people.
my gosh, yes, you do.
So I've really gotten the blessing of becoming friends with so many amazing change makers here in Robertson County. And so
there's a bunch of them, and they're amazing. And I get to, rub shoulders with them, sitting here just running my mouth with them. But I get to hear all about the amazing things they're doing, and it's incredible. And it's what's a blessing too is sitting here and talking to you guys helps me to know what I need to honor. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I need to go to that dinner. Yes, I need to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I hear more about the different programs and the things that as a community member that I need to put my attention to. So she said, I heard she's a Rule 31 mediator too. What does that mean? What does that mean? That has to be some kind of an inside thing over at the Senior Center.
No, I am a Rule 31 mediator. That was part of my master's degree in conflict management. So mediators are people you go to, like if you're getting divorced or you got a civil suit or whatever.
I got you. Okay.
So they sit and help you solve
I
problems.
understand. I actually have a good friend that is involved in well, I'm going to be very careful what I say, but they had to have a mediator come in on something that they're having a conflict with. And
If there's
I heard a
any
little bit about it.
domestic violence, you have to get a special trained domestic violence mediator. So I'm also trained in domestic
Oh, wow.
violence mediation.
Okay.
And so
Well, very good.
I
You're
know.
just and she's getting her doctorate.
I have kind of put a pause on that for a little
Have
bit.
you? Okay.
I
was wondering.
I think I'm going to come back to it, but I had surgery in January. I had surgery in April, and I'm having another surgery in September. So this year was kind of a little bit of a shift.
She's good. She's well.
I am well. I just
okay.
got to
She's got
continue
some
to be
things.
well. Yeah. So it's just surgery to help preserve my mobility and improve my mobility. And so,
Well,
So that's why it's kind of the PhD is kind of taken on pause. I am actually trying to figure out right now if I can swing it for the fall or if I need to take another term off. But yeah.
Yeah, well, very good. I'm very proud of you, though. But you're one of my friends that I definitely admire and look up to, and I know you're just so involved. And you're somebody that hasn't. I mean, I've been here since '92, and you're like Lee Marie. I call y'all and ask you questions, and y'all have not been here near as long as I've been, but y'all have been so plugged in. You're one of those people that's just so plugged into the community. You know what's happening. You know the movers and the shakers.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, like I would say, when you go to people say nobody talks to me at church, it's like, well, how many people do you talk to? That's kind of how I feel about the community. Like I could sit on the sidelines and wonder what's going on, or I could just get involved.
There you go. Well,
and push my way, elbow my way into the table and start talking to people. So,
well,
anyway,
well done, sister. So, is there any news on the nonprofit thing that we need to know before we get too much into the senior center stuff? Because I want to kind of touch on that because the different ones that you're involved in. Or is there any events coming up? Or
well, right now we got flag football registration is open for Generations Next. The Robertson County Sports Alliance is part of Generations Next, and their fall flag football registration is open. Fall is not as big of a season as spring is for us because you got kids actually playing, football. But we did just reach 100 kids, and so that's awesome that we'll have that kind of impact on children. And the thing about our flag football program, I put my kids in it because they're not athletic. I hope they're not listening. No, I'm just kidding. They know. But they needed to have that team experience. They needed to have that mentoring experience from a coach that we just didn't. Well, actually, when they were little, we couldn't afford it. We just couldn't afford to put them in at 3. Expensive. And if you don't put them in at 3, then you miss the window.
I get it.
And with 5 kids, we couldn't afford it. And so I love the Sports Alliance because number one, a lot of people will donate and sponsor kids. So if you want your kids to be involved, but you can't swing it financially, just know I've been there. I totally understand. And we often will get sponsors. In fact, if we don't have enough sponsors for your kid, we'll go find a sponsor for your kid.
Yeah, find it.
So that's not a problem. If you can't make it work, let us know. We'll make it work for you. And so I love that. I love that they try to make sure every kid touches the ball every single game. Whether they're the athletic kid or not, whether the star of the show or not. I mean, of course I want to win, and that they definitely make sure that they know that that's the goal.
Competition, competitiveness.
You got to learn that.
You gotta learn that dig deep stuff.
But the kids also learn how to be on a team with somebody that might not be as good as them, or learn the leadership skills. If you've got a kid that's super athletic, they learn the leadership skills to bring the other kids up to their level. And so it's been a great program for my children. Then the twins, I have twins that'll be 16 on Saturday actually, and they were facilitators last year and helped facilitate the games and stuff. And that was a great working experience for them. Like, I just love how much Generations Next pours into the youth of Robertson County,
for sure, and
surrounding counties, because we have kids coming from other places too to be part of it. So
now that registration, isn't it closing at the end of this month? Or because I saw some signs,
yeah, it probably,
I made a note of it
because we got evaluations coming up. So
yeah, I think it's through the end of July, which would be
this week.
Yeah, that would be Friday.
Yeah, I think. I'm guessing, yeah, I'm not as involved with that part of Generations Next, so I'm like, I probably should know this.
Well, no.
They usually, actually, if you come the day of evaluations and you still want to do it, they'll find a place for your kids. So, so look on our social media for that, though. You can go to Robertson County Sports Alliance on Facebook and be able to find any links that you need, or you can also send them a direct message and somebody will get back to you.
Very good.
Through Facebook. So so that's going on, and I'm involved with some of the other initiatives we got going on, like the Robertson County Prevention Coalition. That's always the second Thursday of the month at the library during lunchtime. And we're gearing up for Red Ribbon Week already, which is the end of October. And we want to do a big event for that. So stay tuned to that. You can also follow that Facebook page, Robertson County Sports Alliance, or just the Generations Next Facebook page. We're trying to grow that also. But while you're following Facebook pages, also follow the Robertson County Senior Center Facebook page. When I came on 2 months ago, I created a new Facebook page because what we had before was like kind of a group where people could chat and anybody could post and stuff. And so we kind of switched it to a forward-facing public page. And so we went from like 800 people in the group to like 200 followers now. So everybody hop on and follow, even if you're not a senior, because nobody's a senior. Nobody. You could be 85 and not think of yourself as a senior.
So how do I find it? Let me go on and look for it.
So Robertson County Senior Center.
Okay. Robertson County, I'll go on and I will follow it right now.
Thank you. Our profile picture is our 50th anniversary this year. And so it's a green 50 and it has our logo above it.
I got you. Yep.
There you go.
Got you right there. This one.
That's us. Yeah.
Vintage vibes, modern lives. Who came up with that?
I think Nikki Moreland did, if you know her. I mean, that's where I got it from.
Following.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
I'm doing it. But, well, I'm glad you told me that because I think I was following the other page.
Yeah, you may have been. And so this is where we put a lot of we put our calendar on there every month. And then we put all of our flyers. That's where because on this page, we can make events, we can do stuff like that. And it's easier to share out to the community. And so that's why I made that shift when I took over. So
very good. Well, we'll follow that. And that's where you find out about all the really cool trips. I had a friend that had gotten signed up for a trip, then her husband had to have surgery. And I don't know if they actually were able to sell their tickets or not to the one coming. I think are they on one right now?
No, it's Saturday. They leave Saturday to Vermont. And yes, there are two trips for sale.
Yeah.
If you're spontaneous and you want to go to Vermont on Saturday, we can hook you up.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
because I'm not going to say who has them, but they have put it up on social media, and I think you're probably talking about the same people. Because they're friends of mine.
Yeah, they're
and
the only one. That's the only trip available.
And so you could go. It sounds like a lot of fun. And it was like, is it $1,300 for two people?
I don't know the exact numbers on this trip, but yeah, they're usually because they're going to Mount Rushmore in the Badlands in October, and that's a little bit more because it's a few more days.
A really good deal.
They're right around $1,500. Well, $1,500 to $2,000. Although we are taking a trip next year to Indiana to Amish country, and that's less than $1,000.
Yeah,
and you're going to be gone for several days. And so next year we're doing Maine. We're doing one to Indiana, Amish country. And I'm trying to remember what the third one is.
Do you know when you're going to Maine?
I think it's in the fall next year.
We're going to go to Maine next. That's our tentative plans. Well, we're just going because we took the road trip to Mexico this year, and we just really road trip people. And so I really, really, really want to go up. Mark's wanting to go up the East Coast, and I want to go up and go across to Nova Scotia and see some of the tall ships and all that. So
if I would want to go to Prince Edward Island, I'm a big Anna Green Gables fan.
Okay. But so that's kind of, we're planning, that's what we're thinking we're going to do for our trip next year is go up the East Coast. So I'm like, I might be going at the same time, but we're going to go, we got to go when we're not teaching.
Right? Oh, that's true. Yeah, it would be probably, I think it's during the school year.
Yeah. So very good. But so I know you're loving your job over at the Senior Center.
Oh gosh, it's so fun.
Having so much fun. So talk to me about some of the things that you guys do over there. Because, when I hear about honestly and truthfully, the more I hear about the Senior Center, I'm kind of going, that sounds like fun.
It is fun.
And it's not what I was expecting.
Exactly.
Because you hear Senior Center and you're like, oh, yeah.
Well, and that's
nice.
Yes, we're actually working on a grant right now, and part of it is to get money for marketing, so people so that we can help spread the word. That's not just for a frail, and people who can't do anything else. It's for everybody, and we really do. Our long-term plan is to expand the hours so it can include people who are still working, people who are still, even have kids at home. Because it's 50 plus. And a lot of us in that age range, have kids at home. We're still working. We got, but but we can be doing things in the evenings. We can be doing, things that appeal to that age group too. And so like we did a dance last Saturday. It was last Saturday before. It was so fun. We had a live band, and the first time in my life I heard the Twist live. And I grew up when I was a little girl. My daddy in high school was the Twist champion. He lived in Virginia at the time. He's a military brat, but he went to high school in Virginia, and he was the regional Twist champion.
That's hysterical.
And so I grew up in our family room. My daddy would turn on the Twist, and he would teach his little girls how to twist and do the pony and all that kind of stuff. So I was having a blast.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, but it. We have a variety of that kind of stuff. So there's dances, there's trips, there's one of the things that they asked me to raise some awareness about yesterday was we have what's called COPD harmonica class. So you learn how to play the harmonica, and it helps build your lung capacity. You don't have to have COPD to do it. So if you'd like to build your lung capacity and breathe deeper, longer, which I've read a whole book on breathing and how vitally important it is, and how our lack of breathing properly is what causes most of our health problems. Anyway, it's a fascinating book. But anyway, if you want to increase your lung capacity, come play the harmonica at the center. You get to learn how to play the harmonica, and you get to live a longer, healthier life. So
when is this harmonica class?
It was yesterday. So it's Monday afternoons at 1:00.
Oh, wow. That's fun. There's so many things I'd love to do. Harmonica is one of those I would love to do. I've been learning piano this summer.
Ooh, I took piano lessons.
Yeah, my friend Rachel Culver's been teaching me piano, and I'm having so much fun. I love it.
I did a lot of years of piano lessons as a kid, and then didn't remember anything except the entertainer. I can play the entertainer. And then in my 30s, I was like, either I could put my kids in piano, or I could take piano and then teach them how to play the piano. That was the goal. It didn't happen like that. But I did go back and take some piano lessons, and I remember doing a recital with a bunch of little kids. And
that's really
you got to get up, and you got to say how old you are and your piece. And so I did the same thing. I think I was like 38 at the time or something. I was like,
I love it.
I'm like, I'm Tiffany Thomson. I'm 38. And like everybody started laughing because I actually said my age. I'm like, I'm not embarrassed of my age. I'm proud of every year I got.
Great. I think that's great. Rachel hasn't suggested me. Well, no, she told me I could participate in the recitals because she does one. She does she teaches. It's so funny. She teaches voice, and she teaches piano, and she teaches swimming.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. I mean, she's well-rounded.
All the things you need in life.
Well, it's Rachel Culver that's been coming on the radio with me for 5 years on Faith Friday.
Awesome.
Now, she's not doing Faith Friday right now, but nonetheless. And so at the end of the school semester, she does it like a school semester. Mm-hmm. She does a summer semester. So at the end of each of these little, chunks, they'll do a show. And she's like, do you want to be in the show? And I'm like, I'm good. But I haven't. That's okay. But I'm learning chords. I'm not learning to read music or anything. I'm just learning to take the guitar chords and put them on the keyboard and all of those kinds of things. And
very cool.
Yeah, just quick stuff. And then maybe I'll come back around and, do the reading music later, but I'm loving it. It is so much fun. So harmonica is another one that I would love
I know. Wouldn't that be fun? I was like, I thought I could sneak away and come to this class once a week.
Fun. But are you not there? Because
I'm there, but I'm in my office writing grants and, doing other stuff, other administrative stuff. I wish I was more of the activities person.
Yeah, I gotcha. So
that would be way more fun. Yeah, they go on every Wednesday. Well, 3 Wednesdays a month. They go on what they call an out and about, where they go. Like I think this week it's they're going to the Tennessee State Museum and the Farmers Market for lunch.
Great. Have you been there?
I have not.
Ooh,
my kids have gone. I think there was one day I was working or something, and Josh was able to take them, and he took them down. And so everybody else in my family has gone, but I haven't. But
have you been to Centennial Park?
Yes, I have been to Centennial Park. Yes.
I just wonder because she's still how long have y'all been here?
It will be 6 years in August. Yeah,
you're still pretty much a newbie.
I'm a baby.
So there's an awful lot of stuff in this area that and Lee Marie's the same way. And I wonder with Lee Marie sometimes, have you gone and done this, and this in Nashville? Things that we kind of take for granted because I worked in Nashville for so many years and I forget. It's like, oh yeah, you need to go here, here, and here. For sure.
Luckily for us, when we first moved here, is COVID, so people weren't. Like, we had a lot of people come and visit, because they had nothing else to do. And
Yeah.
so we got to
So y'all did the
learn.
tours, yeah.
And then I homeschooled for the first couple of years that we were here. And so I got to go I got to learn and go and do a lot of stuff. So it was
There
fun.
are some school tours that go through the Capitol, and that you can go and do the state stuff, the
Mm-hmm.
history and Andrew Jackson and all the things, and it's quite fascinating too. There's some interesting things downtown, but so I could
Very
see the
cool.
seniors doing some of those kinds
Yeah.
of trips, and you getting to go.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't get to
Sorry.
go.
Well, I thought you were going on one of their big trips. Though
I was
going
going to go to New Hampshire. We ended up canceling that trip because we were taking. We had quite a few to New England this year, and so we decided to focus on filling the other ones, and
I
then
got you.
go to Maine next year. So
Okay.
I'm hoping I get to go to Maine next year. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, no, I don't get to do the fun stuff at the
I'm
center.
sorry.
I do get to do some fun stuff. It's fun. But definitely the staff at the center, they're amazing. They do a really good job of making sure people feel seen and loved. I don't know. I mean, just to talk about the more serious side of the center, it's not just fun, or like a place to hang out. It is that, but it's to create connections and community. We actually had somebody that went on our last trip that died by suicide. It's a very high suicide time of life.
Keep talking.
And that's what people don't recognize, is that we're not just hanging out and having fun. It's real serious work to create community and connection, make sure people feel seen and valued, and that they matter. And that's real serious work. It might look like a lot of fun from the outside, and it is, and it can be, but there's a real underlying need involved in that, and that is it's making sure people know that they matter, and that their life experience adds value to this world. I think, I saw it happen with my own grandparents when they got to a certain ability. I don't think it's necessarily a number on the calendar, but a certain ability level, they started feeling like that they would just be better for them to be gone, and I think that's a real mental temptation at older ages, to just start thinking that it'd be better if you were gone, and you still have a lot to offer. And so we love creating that community. We want to welcome anybody into the center that wants to come. You don't have to be a senior just to come and to partake in the community that is there. But the majority of people listening to this, you're probably a senior. If you're 50 plus, you count. So, certain grants and stuff, we have to count different ages, but
I gotcha.
But the center is for 50 plus, and then anybody else who wants to come. We have a lot of people that come that aren't quite 50 yet, and that's great. But then also like certain grants, like we can count from 60 plus, some 65 plus, but everybody come be a part of it.
I love it. I love it.
It matters.
And what you said about that inclusion, I would have loved for my mother to have had something like this, but with her living out very rural, it just wasn't convenient. But I had heard her say several times, "I don't know why I'm still here," and you hate that, because it's like, oh my gosh, because you bless us just with your presence. That's why you're still here, and if you can give them things to do that are engaging. She would have loved going and just playing games and things like, playing dominoes. She loved to play dominoes.
Yeah.
And those kinds of things. She would have really enjoyed that if we could have gotten her involved. I mean, she's up in West Kentucky, but it's so vital. And I love that we have such an engaging senior center, because like you said, people don't realize the suicide ideation in that generation. And it is so high. We'll be Dr. Stephanie Evans. Need to get her in here, because we're coming up on Suicide Prevention Month, I think in September, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's when they're doing. Oh, and I am involved with Health Council, and they are sponsoring a 5K. I think it's September. I want to say it's September 11th or 12th, somewhere in there. And the cost to run it is only, I think it's $12 and something cents. And I should know all this, but like, it's the amount of people that died by suicide
wow.
1,200 and however many people died by suicide last year in Tennessee, and so that's why that they created that price. So it's only $12 and something to run, even if you don't want to run it. In fact, the motto is like walk, run, or whatever, just keep going, which, you know, it's such a beautiful thought about suicide prevention and how we just need to keep going, because, you know, we all have those days where it's like, why am I? We've all had those days your mom had, right? Why am I still here? I don't really matter. You know, as someone who's still very much like has 5 kids and that's still very dependent on me and very involved in the community, I have days like that too, where I'm just like, I'm not making a difference. I don't matter. You know, and most people from the outside could look at me and be like, why would you ever think that? You're so busy and involved and have kids and family and stuff, but we all have those days. And we just need to keep going and, you know, wake up tomorrow and it will be better.
And that's, I mean, that's what the work of the Senior Center is all about, and so many of the things that you're involved in. So we do appreciate what you do. Let me pause and do a break right here. Okay. We're talking with Tiffany Thomson about all things Senior Center. She's the executive director there. When did you take that role on?
May 4th. May the 4th be with me. I'll never forget it.
I love it. What a great anniversary. That's funny. That's funny. All right, guys, let's talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. That is somebody I got to get him in here, because if you've not been watching his social media, he has got a property that they're listing that has a cave. And I'm so jealous, because I've always said that if you'll get on Exit Prime Realty, you'll see what I'm talking about. But they've got a property with a cave, and they did a little spelunking out there yesterday, it looked like. And he, of course, you know, had some really cool video from it. But I've always said on my property, if I could find a cave and an eagle's nest, I would be just like, oh, that would be my thing.
A cave and an eagle's nest.
Yeah, I love eagles. And we haven't. There's a nesting pair of eagles back home, and that my dad just was fascinated with. And as far as I know, they're still there, because they live a long time. But we've got eagles that fly on our. We see them on our property all the time, but we don't know where the nest is. Caleb Stratton does, and he won't tell me.
We got falcons on our street.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, it's cool stuff.
And woodchucks.
Yeah. So do what?
We have falcons and woodchucks that live on our street.
There you go.
Right here in town.
Well, there's eagles, and we're getting more and more of them, but I digress. I want a cave, and I feel like there's got to be a cave in that hill that, you know, in front of our house, but so far we haven't found one. Well, they've got property that's got a cave on it. It's absolutely beautiful, and they say it's between Springfield and Orlinda. So, that's pretty cool. As hot as it was yesterday, Barry was talking about the difference in the temperature when you go into the cave. So I know that's intriguing, right? Go and check them out. Exit Prime Realty, Barry Richards, Rebecca Richards, and you're going to find out a little bit more about that property that's available. And also, they've got a historic property that they have listed. And let's see here if I can find it again. It is an old schoolhouse that had built some houses for. It says the Julius Rosenwald Fund helped build 7 schools for the African American students in Sumner County, Tennessee. Only 3 are still standing. The Oak Grove School from 1925 is now for sale. And Barry's, isn't that cool? A chance for you to own a little piece of history. How neat is that? But he's got a little historical piece up on his social media page. He puts up interesting stuff all the time. So you need to follow him and Rebecca and just see what they have going on with Exit Prime Realty. And if you're interested they handle a lot of historic properties. And it might be something, if they don't have exactly what you're looking for right now, you could tell them, say, hey, I want something in this kind of line. Maybe I want something in the historic district in Springfield or in another city in the surrounding areas. Because while they are Robertson Countyans, they have been for 30 years, they live up in Cross Plains. They also buy and sell in the surrounding counties. They specialize in Robertson County, but they buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky, like myself. They're originally from Kentucky, our neighbors to the north, and so they get it. They understand all the nuances of all these things, buying or selling. They've got a broker that can still broker deals over across the state line in Kentucky, up in Rebecca's agency office up in White House. Barry is the broker here in Springfield. And they have others part of the Exit Prime team. They've got Samuel and Brandy Hastings also on their team, and maybe you want to join the team. You can reach out to them, and they'd love to mentor you and bring you along. But I'm going to try to get him in next week to come in and talk about these two very unusual properties that they're handling. If you want to know more before I get them in here, give them a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, or you can go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertscounty.com, and always let them know U-Turn sent you. All right, Tiffany Thomson, we got all this time. We've got all this stuff we can talk about. I told Tiff, I said, well, I've got an hour open, but I know you and I can fill it. Now, I don't know what all we're going to talk about because you just really never know. But I do have to we were talking birthdays because today is my oldest grandson's 10th birthday, double digit. Happy birthday, Rowan. And you mentioned the twins are going to be 16.
They are.
Are they going to get their license?
So Amelia has her permit. She's very motivated. My twins are boy-girl twins, those who don't know. So Amelia and Cooper. Amelia has always been like this.
Yeah.
Like I remember she told me, she came one day when she was 2 and said, I'm going to potty train. And she was potty trained within days. Oh, how She came to me when she was 5 and said, I'm going to learn to ride a bike. And she taught herself how to ride a bike. She had it down by the end of the day. I don't know if it's because they had a thing like as soon as you learn how to ride a two-wheeler, I'll take you to ice cream, and she wanted ice cream. I don't know why, but once she gets a beat in her bonnet,
she's gonna stay.
She
with
is
it,
the
yeah.
most. Yeah, she's a high achieving girl. So I remember when she's like, I'm gonna get a boyfriend, and I was like, okay, whatever. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work like that. She had a boyfriend within a month. She just is that kind of girl.
Sets her mind to it.
She is she's a high achieving girl, and so she called and she set a road test. August something. So I don't know if she'll pass or not because we went driving last night. Oh, she's doing good. But I know if I want her to pass, then we need to probably go driving every day. So we've been trying to go driving every day. She's doing okay. Cooper, on the other hand, does not have his permit. Not even interested. Not, they're just so different. And it was the same with them for everything else too. Like, I think he potty trained a year after she did. I think he, and then I think, that is actually a funny story. Like so she was potty trained. We took him to church. They were in the nursery and they came and brought him to me and said they need to go to the bathroom. I'm like, well, Cooper's not potty trained. And they're like, well, he said he needed to go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay, well, sure. It was the first time he had ever sat on a toilet, and we took him into the bathroom at the church, and sure enough, his diaper was dry, and I'd taken his pacifier away. We did a thing where we gave it to a new baby in our neighborhood. We this is for the baby. Pacifiers are for babies. You're not a baby anymore. And as soon as he wasn't a baby anymore, the next day he was potty trained. So he could have done it long before that, but it's finally I'm not a baby.
I'm not a baby anymore.
I'm not a baby. I need to use a potty. Yeah. They're just so different. So I don't know. One day I'm sure he'll just be like, hey, I guess I want to learn how to drive, but he's not there yet.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
And just going down the twin well for a second, because my twins are boy twins, but they're as different as, brothers could be. They're just brothers with the same birthday. There's nothing similar about them. And, Caleb walked when he was 10 months old. Jeremiah went from crawling to running. Just couldn't care less about that
Max.
toddling around.
Yeah, that was so Max.
Butt.
He got up and walked across the room, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Jeremiah did. But now Caleb was, he was toddling at 10 months. He walked real early, and I don't remember. You're like me. I have 4 kids. She has 5. And I'll go, I think they did. And then these newer parents will go, you mean you don't remember exactly because, they're all about the details.
Well, but they also are recording it constantly.
Yes,
you know what I mean? You take it. They have a camera in their hand all the time. And my youngest was a lot like that. I had a smartphone, I think by the time she was born, but my other ones, I wasn't.
Yeah. I've got video camera stuff, and I've got a lot of pictures and video and things, but nothing like they do now. But nonetheless, I'm the same way. I'm like, well, I think this was how it was,
right?
And you try to remember. But when you said they were about to be 16, I remember having 4 boys all driving at the same time, and what it did to my insurance.
I was just gonna say, how did you afford that? Oh my gosh!
Well, because we started paying cash for vehicles. This is why everybody's like, why do you drive such ragged out vehicles? And it's like, well, when I had all 4 of mine driving at the same time, my insurance agent said to me, he goes, I'm going to give you some advice. He says, start paying cash for your vehicles and carry collision and, whatever you've got to carry on the car. And he says, if one of them has a wreck, you just get another car. Don't try to carry collision on teenage boy drivers because
Right.
it'll kill you. And once we got out of the habit of having a car payment, we're like, man, I like that.
Why would you go back? Yeah.
So that's why we do that's why we drive what we drive, because everybody asks us. And our kids can't hardly stand it. It's like, y'all need to get a new car. And it's like, no, we're good. And
as long as it's still getting you there without dying in between, that's when we replace them. We're like, okay, I no longer can get from here to there without it dying.
Let's just do it. And that's why we did it, is when we had the twins were our first ones to turn 16. Yours are not. I mean,
no, they're 3 and 4.
They're the
yeah.
middles.
Yeah.
They're the middles. So, but nonetheless, well, good luck with the twins driving. But anyway, you had a senior last year, right?
Yes. So Max isn't driving yet either.
Okay.
So
this generation, this bunch of kids, a lot of them are not driving, and that's kind of why I was curious.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
interesting.
It's just, it is my oldest. He's 20. He's hiking in Rocky Mountain National Park today. Anyway, he got his driver's license at 16.
Okay.
He paid for his insurance. He paid for his gas. He worked at the YMCA lifeguarding. Max lifeguards at the YMCA too, but they're just totally different. Turner would pick up extra shifts. He would, he was very
hustling,
motivated that way. And Max is just like, no, I'm not gonna pick up an extra shift. Nah,
How
he's
funny
just a
is that?
different kid. But Max is extremely creative. He's constantly building and creating. And he's got a 3D printer that he does amazing things with. And I honestly think he will be a good salesman. I need to find him a sales job because he's not afraid of the no. And he never has been. He's 2 years old and be like, hey, can I have what you're eating? And as a young mom, I was like, I thought I had to give him everything he asked for. It took me a while to realize he was going to ask for anything. And I just needed to learn how to say no to him. And then he wasn't afraid of the no. It didn't hurt his feelings. He didn't care. I say no. He's like, okay. And he would move on. And so I'm like, he's going to be a great salesman. Go really get into sales because he's not afraid to ask. And so yeah, I think he'll do well there. But he's still trying to figure himself out.
Okay.
18 is, he's a childlike, I don't want to say childish because he's not like immature, but he's just a childlike kind of
It took
personality.
me a while, for heaven's sakes. I encourage my students when I've got several of my ones that have graduated. Actually, I had two of the ones that just graduated in the spring were on the creek this weekend fishing. They were at my house.
Yeah.
And I love seeing the kids out. And then there's one that graduated last year that I saw just recently, and I just love getting updates from them. But and I tell them, said, you got to get to work, you got to do something. You can't just sit around, but you don't have to be doing what you're going to do for the rest of your life when you're 18 or 19 years old. Figure it out.
Yeah.
I changed my major after I got into college and
Same.
went all kinds of different directions. And so, yeah.
I still don't really know what I want to do when I'm
Ain't
almost
that the
50,
truth?
I just like what? I never stop being curious about things. So, you know what I'm
too.
saying? So I'm like, ooh, I wonder what that'd be like. I wonder what that'd be like. But yeah, I definitely have the philosophy that it's better to take your time and figure it out than to rush into something you hate and feel stuck there.
Yep. And that happens to too many people. I have a good friend. She actually went to college into the medical field. And then when they started doing clinicals, she couldn't take the smells. And then ended up becoming an attorney instead. But and she's brilliant, but she can do that. But again, she feels like, oh, I kind of wasted my time. Well, she did, because she just didn't have she hadn't vetted it enough.
I really feel like there should be some type of job shadowing before you start a program in college, because how many times do engineers get an engineering degree without ever stepping foot in an engineer firm? You know what I mean? And I really feel like there needs to be a lot more on the job, hands-on experimenting with careers before you commit to a however many $1,000 investment in an education that may or may not. I mean, I firmly believe that no education is ever wasted. Like, education's always good, but that being said, something like medical field is very specific, right? It doesn't have it doesn't transfer very well to other things.
And that's the reason why we have CTE programs in Tennessee, the career and technical education programs. That's why I love that we're doing what we're doing with these programs, because it gives students the chance, even in the classroom, in the high school setting, the opportunity to see what it's like in this different industry and all these kinds of things. And then they have job shadowing programs that they do through the chamber. And so they do a lot of that now, but that's not always been the case. When I was in school, no, I didn't. There were so many things that I could have done or I had no idea about, because there just wasn't a way to explore it. So, I mean, we are, and kind of, mention that because we are about to start back to school. So it's really cool. Your kids, if they're in Robertson County, guys, we've got and I'm part of the CTE program. My husband's part of the CTE program. We've got such a cool program here, and the kids have just great access to just some different things to kind of see what's going on and kind of say, well, I might be interested in that.
I love how much career exposure that our school system and the chamber are committed to exposing the children to, because the kids, the youth, whatever. But I think because you only can dream about things you've been acquainted with, right? Yes. So if you've never met an attorney, you're not going to be dreaming about becoming an attorney. And I also think it's important to see yourself represented. So, if you're Black and you've never seen a Black attorney, you might not think, it just might not click that that's something for you. And so I think it's important to be able to see, or a woman, there are a lot of things that I didn't think I could do because I was a woman. Yeah. And then I got older and realized women were doing it all over the place. I just had never seen it before, And so I think that it's important to make sure that not only are they exposed to careers, they're exposed to representation among those careers, and to know that anything's possible for any child, And I know for me, I didn't think I was smart. I remember being like, I want to be a pediatrician or whatever, and being told, well, you're not really good at math, and you have to be really good at math to be a pediatrician. Well, now I know, it's definitely helpful, but like, I wasn't that bad at math. You know what I mean? Like, I probably could have figured out how to make it work. So
that's interesting. And, oftentimes we'll discourage kids. And my son I have one of my kids is an electrical engineer, and my boys are gifted in math, but the one that went the engineering route was probably the one who was more challenged by math. They all did well in it. But I mean, a couple of them are just like, and of course he had to really buckle down to do it. And I can't imagine if somebody said to him, well, your brother's better at this than you are. So, that's probably not for you. Nobody did that to him that I heard about, or I'd have been on him, because he did it. He worked through it. And then the ones that maybe were suited for that went a different route. Just because you're suited for something doesn't mean that's what your heart desires to do. And so I think that's so important. And that's what we've got with our very diverse CTE program is sometimes kids even get thrown into classes. One of the favorite stories I have is, and we're kind of going down a rabbit hole here because she's my friend and we can, but, and school's about to start and she's got a bunch of them. And so, and I do too. But one of my favorite stories that I heard, Will Elliott, who is our new, I guess it's director of CTE. He took over for Mark Gregory. And so Will has told a story. There is a girl who was put in an ag CTE program, and she didn't want nothing to do with it. Well, she ended up falling in love with it and that was her career path, as it turns out. Because what will happen is you'll go in when the kids register, they'll register for this, this, and this. And if there's not room, especially their freshman, sophomore year, they're going to give the nod to an upperclassman or whatever, because they're trying to finish the career path. You have to take 1, 2, and 3 to finish a career path, to have to finish your focus on your career path. You have to have 3 classes and something. So, they have to navigate those waters. So they might get put in a class that it's not necessarily one that they picked. And then they go, oh, I didn't know I like this. I had several that I put in front of the news camera and they're like, oh, I'm pretty good at this. And, and then of course I would tell them it doesn't pay well. get a day job and do this on the weekend, or just know that this is something, go for your dreams. It can happen, but it's one of those things. I give them the truth of the industry and that kind of thing, but it helps them with their public speaking and their, being not afraid to get up in front of people, all those things. And so, I love the program just for that. And I'm going down a rabbit hole. Let me do my last break and we'll come back and recenter, talking with Tiffany Thomson about all the things. And this is a good topic because you're so involved with Sports Alliance and all of the things like that are geared towards our kiddos. And then also being the executive director at the Senior Center. You're on both ends of the spectrum.
I am.
All over it.
This has been my first foray into the other side of life because I've spent most of my career working in the child welfare system.
Yeah.
Working with families, especially with Safe Baby. I mean, I went from babies to seniors. And
you sure did.
I was working with families that had children 3 and under. That program is now expanded to 5 and under. But yeah, so that's where I was, and now I'm here, and it's just amazing to see how much of humanity doesn't change.
I love that. And it's true. And some of the best years of my life were spent working at the church, where I was at the Benevolent Center and working with all these sweet people that run Meals on Wheels. The people who run Meals on Wheels are seniors.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming in there taking care of their peers.
Yeah.
And they're such beautiful, wonderful people. And some of my very best friends I met through that, and they're, a little bit older than me. And so it's been just such a blessing to get to know them. So I know you're having a lot of fun. You're going to keep having some fun.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
We'll finish talking with Tiff here in just a moment, but we're going to pause right now and talk about Chris Armtrout and the experienced loan officers at Valor Mortgage, working hard to find the right mortgage solution to fit your life, your budget, your goals, whatever it might be. Are you getting your first home? Are you investing? Are you buying another home so you can maybe rent one? Maybe you just want to get a refi. When Brian Pulley is in here on Thursday, I'll get him to tell the story about how Chris just took charge of his refi right about the time of COVID, took care of it. Brian just barely even had to show up and sign paperwork. It was so effortless. But that's the kind of attention to detail that they do, because they are not treating you like a number. If you call these 1-800 numbers and go, you've got this much equity in your home. If you call, they're going to spam you. They're going to bother you. They're going to stalk you. You do not want that. You want a mortgage lender that's going to treat you like the human being that you are and not just a number. So if you want to find out more, the best thing to do is to make an appointment. They do have an office in downtown. They can meet you there. But if you just drop in, you might not. They might be out meeting with somebody else. So Chris says, please, please, please make an appointment. They're at 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178. Or you can go to valor.mortgage, get pre-approved today. Because when it matters most, you deserve a lender you can trust. Buy with confidence. Buy with Valor. Valor Mortgage, NMLS number 1210804, DBA of Encore Lending Group, NMLS 1249911. Equal housing lender, subject to credit approval, rates and terms subject to change without notice, not a commitment to lend. Tell them U-Turn sent you. There you go.
I love that legal mumbo jumbo at the end.
I did it almost without taking a breath. So there you go. So remind them again of the hours of the Senior Center and some of the things you guys have got coming up. How about that?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so we are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3:30, and then we have special events, like dances and stuff other days. So follow along on our Facebook page, Robertson County Senior Center, to get all that stuff. We do a monthly potluck. That's the third Thursday of the month. We have a speaker this last month, Jamie. I'm blanking on her last name. She's with Operation Stand Down with the veterans. She's
wonderful.
She's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I've had her on here and so informative.
Yes, she knows a lot. She's very outgoing and friendly. I mean, we got to be good friends. Just she's been doing that for a year. I think she said was just her anniversary, but just because we're both involved in so many community things with Health Council and and making a difference through the sheriff's office and stuff. So we've been involved in a lot of the same circles. And so so she came last month. We've had, I guess, the sheriff and Charlie Clark come and talk about scams. What has broken my heart the most is how many times I hear people getting scammed out of their money. And it's all sorts of scams. I know one I heard about, a lot of times there's like people start messaging them on Facebook and become friends with them, they might talk to them for years virtually before they even ask for a penny.
Yep.
Years.
It
They're
happened to
playing
me.
long term. I remember when you got
Remember,
scammed.
I got scammed, and
do
I
remember that.
would have thought, oh, how in the world could somebody let that happen? And boy, I had this conversation, I don't know, just recently, maybe it was Bill yesterday, but don't ever think it can't happen to you, because they impersonated my boss so beautifully, so well. Some of the things that they said just took my breath away. When I realized what was happening, and fortunately, it wasn't just devastating to us. We did lose some money on it, but it wasn't, my food for the week. And for some people, it's their life savings. I mean,
Well, I've heard of ones where they've gotten them to go take out a loan. They've gotten them to take out a loan to be, and now that person is stuck with a loan. Not only
crazy.
and I know somebody who did. It was a payday loan. Those are predatory.
They're terrible.
You can't ever get out of a payday loan, and so they went and did that, and now they're stuck with these really high, biweekly payments. And somebody called the other day. It was their own kid that scammed them out of money. And of course, so that's the side that I'm saying. I remember when I was in interviews for this job, I was talking to Leah. She's the executive director at CASA, and I have so many good friends in this community that are executive directors. That's been great to be mentored by them. And but I remember talking to her about it, and I was just like, I can't believe that, like, I get to go from like the saddest part of humanity with child abuse, and now I get to go just hang out and play with seniors. And she's like, I know you, Tiffany, and I know what's going to happen is you're going to see all the seniors that need help and support and love. And she's like, it's not going to be that different. And it has been a lot different in a lot of ways, but I am doing a lot of research on, okay, what's the abuse hotline for adults? Because I knew it for children, but what do we do when we see, and in fact, I learned yesterday that neglect for adults can even be self-neglect. So if they're not able to take care of themselves, they're not able to do it, then you can report neglect on adults, even, self-neglect on adults. And so I just learned that yesterday. So I'm still learning a lot about that. But one of the things we also do at the senior centers, we have what's called the telephone reassurance program. And this is very important. If I could make sure everybody in the whole community knew about this, I would. It is where we can call up to every single day somebody that's shut in. And it doesn't have to be forever shut in. Like, I got clarification on this. Like, they can, if they have back surgery and they're down for 2 months, that's isolating. That's rough. I mean, I remember my first surgery this year was in January, and it was dark and it was cold and I was isolated. And I was going through a lot of anxiety. And it was seriously one of the hardest times of my life. And I was only down for probably 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, before I was able to start getting out again. So if you know of any senior that is isolated, please call the senior center. We're going to get them on our telephone reassurance program, and they're going to get a phone call as much as they want. They don't have to be called every day. Not everybody wants to be called every day. But if they want to just be called once a week, that's fine. But we're there to call and be a listening ear and kind of let them know that they're not alone, that there is somebody out there thinking about them, care about them. So please call us at the senior center, and we would be happy to get them on the telephone reassurance program list.
Okay. And, they have the SOS program through the sheriff's office, and so they can kind of piggyback on each other.
We do.
Right?
Yeah. So if we can't get a hold of somebody, or if we hear of any type of abuse or anything going on, we will call the sheriff's office through the SOS program, and they will go out and do an in-person welfare check and make sure that they're okay. So
very good. Very good. So how can they get in touch? What's the best way for them to contact all the services at the senior center?
You can email me at director@rcseniorcenter.com. Again, that's director@RC for Robertson County, rcseniorcenter.com. That's a great way to get a hold of me. Or you can call me. My number is 615-476-6174. And you'll probably have to leave a message, but we'll get back to you.
I love it. Do that number one more time.
615-476-6174.
Oh, and I'm just now seeing in comments, John, you're one of my favorite students too.
I love John.
And he's saying chair volleyball is the best thing
ever.
Yes,
he loves chair. Everybody loves chair volleyball. It's Thursday afternoons.
Yes.
I think it's at 1:00 or 1:30.
Yeah.
And that is that, and all abilities get competitive in that. So don't feel like, well, I'm not bound to a chair. Every ability gets competitive in that game, and it gets heated. It gets heated.
I love it. I'm sad. I just saw the comments. My computer froze up, and your sweet husband said both Tiffany and LaVern are multi-talented, community-oriented, hardworking people who love our community and strive to make it a better place. Thank you, Josh. And anyway, we appreciate those votes and comments. We love you guys too, and we're out of time. And tomorrow, I'll tell you, this might be something for the senior center. Y'all tune in. I have got my friend Ken Dooley, who is a insurance specialist with his company. He gets, helps people with their health insurance stuff. And especially when you get into that Medicare, Medicaid kind of window, because I'm about to approach it, because I'm going to be 64 in December. And I understand, I don't know if they're going to make me go on that or what, but I got lots of questions. So if you have questions about your insurance and you're at that age of retirement, but you're not retiring, because I'm still working. I'm planning on working until I'm 60, still, so I'm 75. If, the Lord lets me be well, I'm going to do it. But nonetheless, if you have questions about that stuff, or if you're somebody that just finds himself in need of insurance and you're younger, by all means, Ken takes care of all that stuff, but he's very much a specialist at it. And I think you guys will get a kick out of having him on, but he's going to be joining me tomorrow for a special show, and appreciate you.
Yes, then Medicare scams are a huge thing. In fact, we get people scamming out of it. We'll give you $100 gift card if you sign up for this instead. And anyway, I get Medicare scams on I think whoever had my phone before me was a senior, because I get a lot of that kind of stuff. But
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a big scam thing.
It's a huge scam. So make sure that if you want to change your Medicare plan, that you are doing it through someone that is licensed, knows what they're doing. Or we can also connect you to the state also has a lot of free resources in that department too. So we can connect you at the senior center. Please don't just do it off of a phone call. Please.
Don't do it. Anyway, and you're going to come in second Thursday?
Second Thursday.
So she'll be back in. We were just making up. We had some stuff that upended it, and we couldn't do it. So, but nonetheless, so we're just trying to play catch up right now, and we'll have you back in on second Thursday in
I'll be here
in August.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
we'll be here before we know it.
Thank you, Tiff. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you guys for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless you. Have a great day.